Okay, so we like to record these, and last time I recorded one, it was bouncing off whoever was the loudest kind of thing. And so it makes it hard for everyone to kind of focus. Okay, hold on. Let me check some stuff. Are you able to mute yours, Lindsay?
Yeah, I'm trying to be really quiet.
Because, okay. Okay. Oh, she got it. So Rachel, if you want to just unmute yours, then we can talk back and forth about our experience at convention. So, okay. Yep, so she did it. Okay, so we had really a lot of fun, and we would love to have as many as our team members as we could there, right, Rachel? It was super
Absolutely. It was so fun.
It was super fun, and the energy at convention is really high, and it's fun to see all different people, all different consultants that are just all over the spectrum. There's a lot of new people. There's a lot of people that have been in for a long time, and they're finally reaching ranks that they probably never thought they would 5 or 6 years ago. There are people that are fairly new that are also flying up the ranks as well. And then lots of new people and everybody in between. And so we all can learn from each other, and it's a great place to do that.
And there was even men. There was even men that got life of the party and crown clubs.
Yes, that was pretty cool to see. There was that guy that was awarded, and that was pretty fun too. And it was beyond like his wife making those accomplishments. He was doing it on his own, so that was really cool to see. And so we thought, as we were sitting in our pretty hotel room with a gorgeous view, we found out it was one of the prettier ones.
The best.
It was a good one. It was a good one. That we're like, how doable is this? This is so doable for everybody to be able to go and to start thinking about it now for next year, so 11 months from now, and to start setting aside money and pulling that and putting it aside to be able to go. And it is beyond doable when you start doing the math. So the math that Rachel and I did in the hotel room, I think, is wrong. And I sat here thinking, oh, it shouldn't be on the $5 amount. It needs to be on the profit amount, because obviously you want to replenish your jewelry as you're selling it. So hello, we did it wrong. So here's my little notes, and I can even type this up later. And I hope this makes sense. So I just want to like run through this, like how I broke it down, so you can see how doable this is. And I know some of you are exceeding this. And what I suggest is, when you get the money and you specifically are setting it aside each month for convention, to just go ahead and pull it out as cash and just tuck it away somewhere. Like, don't have it near. I had some in an envelope that I just constantly kept, right, Rachel? I was always digging out my 20s. Yeah. I had like wads of cash.
Yes, sure.
So the only thing I ended up using my money that I had in my bank account was for the Z collection, or the stuff kind of things, the fun stuff, and then my inventory, because I paid everything else with cash. So we figured a good ballpark number is about $1,000 to kind of start and go from there, because flights and transportation is going to be different for everybody. And then even hotel room can be kind of different for everybody, depending on if you're rooming with people. So a lot of times you can put 4 people in a room. How much was it, Rachel? Like $100 a night or something? No. What was it?
$100 a night.
$100 a night.
It was like 99. Yeah.
So like $100 a night. So it's a good idea to maybe even think of it a little higher, but once you see the numbers, you'll realize that it's easy to make more. So if you take $1,000 and you divide it by $2.75 each, because that's how much it's going to cost you per piece, that puts you at 360 pieces per year. So from August to next August, when convention comes around, you need to sell 364 pieces during that whole year. That's not that hard. That's really easy. So if you divide that by 11 months from now, that is 33 pieces per month. And that's still with that 45 or that 55% to turn around and recoup into buying new inventory to replace what you sold. So that's only 9 pieces per week. That's pretty easy. Do you guys agree with me? Like, that's pretty doable. 33 pieces per month to be able to make it to convention. I can tell you that I sell easily each week, double and sometimes triple that in a week. And so that's per month. So that's not very hard. Now, Rachel and I were kind of thinking back. What would you say, Rachel? The tickets. So if you kind of start planning in increments, like how are you going to spend your money as this kind of progresses throughout the year? The convention ticket typically comes out in the fall. And you're thinking November?
Or we were thinking November.
Somewhere in there? So the convention ticket comes out this fall. So if you're, and what was it again? I can't remember. $170 or $50 or?
Yeah, I think we said 150.
150 somewhere. So between 150 and 200, I would say, because they've been upping that. I would say every year or so, the cost of that.
Every year. Yeah.
Yep. The cost has gone up. So I would say between 150 and 200. You need to plan on having that sometime this fall, November, December time. And then it's always a good idea to be able to reserve that room ahead of time. Like to reserve it right when you get your ticket to make sure, because Paparazzi reserves a block of rooms for them, and those sometimes sell out. That's not a guarantee. So the sooner you can book that room, the better. So if you know you have team members that are going to go, then start talking. Start figuring out who you can room with so that you can make in that room cheaper. Because what, if you have 4 people and it's 4 nights, is that what it was, Rachel? 4 nights total? Yeah. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So 4 nights, that's only $100 per person for the room if you have 4 roommates. And it's really fun to have other people with you. So if you, and Rachel, did you have to pay when we checked out? Is that when it came out?
Yes, when we checked out is when the money came out.
Okay. So if you know you're going to convention and you have a convention ticket, it's best to get on there and reserve that room so those Paparazzi booked rooms don't sell out. Okay? And then to start thinking of who you can room with. Like, how is this going to work so that you can reduce the cost of that? And then flights, obviously, that just depends on where you live. For example, mine was from Spokane to Las Vegas, so I have a much shorter distance to go than some of you. And mine, I watched it and watched it and watched it weeks before to see what the trends were. It's a good idea to do that. And my tickets were like $330. But if I had booked a few weeks earlier, I could have gotten them almost to 200. So it's so hard because you don't know when to jump on and do that. So you'll want to watch. But the cool thing about tickets is you can keep earning money as you go through that holiday season and book closer to when August comes. And then after that, it's just a matter of how much you want to spend on goodies and swag type stuff, and the Z collection. So the Z pieces, they raised their price on those too. So they're $16.25. They used to be $15 or $10.25 for bracelets. So you need to decide if that's something you want to spend your money on, and then how much inventory you want to spend your money on. For me, from experience, I've learned that some consultants go crazy and they order so much. But you know what? Your customers do not know that that is convention exclusive. They don't know whether you ordered it online, like the first day of convention, or you're bringing it home from those special convention pieces. They don't. And so you don't need to go overboard. I did buy a little more than I normally do, but I had been holding off and kind of going a little slow prior to that, knowing that I was going to spend, I wanted to like free up my money a little bit for convention to see where I wanted to spend it. And like I told Rachel, I kind of had a budget in mind, and I was so proud of myself that I came home with money and to use and spend otherwise, or to save, and then also money for food. But what would you say, Rachel? Like the meals were roughly like $20, but you know what? That's cheaper than 5 people in my family. Yeah. So to me, it was okay. So it was like average $20 a meal-ish, like dinner.
Yeah.
And
I feel like we didn't eat, and we could have gone easily right outside the hotel. There was cheaper food, like the Subway, and there were other options close by that we could have gone to.
Because we decided, okay, maybe I decided, oh. You're like cutting in and out, Rachel. I don't know if it's your connection.
Yeah, no, I can't hear what you're.
So I don't know if you missed it, but she said there were definitely cheaper options outside of the hotel that you could have walked to, or could have figured out, kind of thing. I guess I kind of drugged them around, and I'm like, you know what? I'm eating at places we don't eat at very often. So the first night we had, or the first afternoon, I drug him to a Hawaiian restaurant because I really wanted to go there. And then we went to the Rainforest Cafe because Rachel said, it's neat, and we'd never been. And where did we eat the other night? Oh, the other night was at a special dinner. Oh, and then we just went to the hotel after the black and white gala. Oh my word, it was so late. And we just beelined it to Mr. Lucky's in the hotel, and that was like $20, $17. So plan your meals accordingly for that. But you can reach all different price points. I'm trying to think of other things. And then souvenirs if you want to go to the Strip. And for me, I didn't spend very much there. So just got a Christmas ornament and smashed pennies, but that's all I really wanted. I didn't need a whole lot more than that, but you might find some souvenirs that you like. So $1,000 or $1,000 is just a really good estimate. And to make you realize that 33 pieces a month is really doable. And the cool thing about this is, if you're sticking with the 33 pieces per month, then your consistency starts getting better when you sell. And then when you're consistent in your business, you get more sales. And we're going to be swinging into the fall season here pretty soon. October is jumping right into it, and then November is typically where it just takes off. And then December, it's kind of hit and miss. But October and November are the months that you just want to like be geared up for and be excited about, and be consistent in whatever method you're delivering, and to have a plan so that you can maximize those sales. So you should easily make more than $1,000 in profits just through consistency and keeping that going. So that's kind of our little breakdown, because we would love to see you there. And the cool thing about it is that Rachel and I are planning on going again. Hopefully Tammy can make it this next year. And so you are not alone when you go, because there were some ladies there that went, and I don't know that they knew who to connect up with, and they may have not been really close to their uplines. And so they went by themselves. And so we tried, if there were empty spots and enough spots for who went, we tried to sit next to them. We didn't leave an empty seat like a lot of people did, because everybody should feel included and not feel alone. And so her and I will definitely be there, so that doesn't happen. So we had Ashley from my team and then 2 other gals, Jennifer and Sarah, her daughter, that also sells on my team, that were there too. And it was so fun to all get together and sit together and kind of meet up together, went on the strip together, and that was really fun. So does anybody, and if you have a question or you want to make a comment, make sure you unmute. And I am recording this, so it's easier if you guys are all muted until you're ready to say something, just because it was bouncing back and forth. But does anybody have any comments or questions about convention, or anything else really, for that matter? Anybody? About your business, about any helps, anything? Or do you want to add anything, Rachel?
Nothing.
I just wanted to add something.
Time.
Oh.
Can you?
I want to see at least 20 people there. And
what did they say, Rachel? They said the company has grown, typically grown 50% every year up until now. And this year they have grown 200% just from January to July. You guys, that's amazing.
It keeps cutting out for me, Kristi.
The company is moving so fast.
Do you hear what she's saying?
What, Rachel? Did she freeze again?
I just wanted to.
It's cutting in and out. So
yeah. Your reception is so crappy, Rachel. Okay, while she's getting that figured out, Lindsay, did you have? Oh,
sorry, I didn't know what was going on.
I don't either.
I just wanted to add about my first year. I bought a bunch of the Z collection because I thought it was so fun and wonderful. But then the next year that I went, I bought more inventory because I could sell the inventory.
Exactly.
So that's just something to think about when you're when I kind of buy. The next year I bought a Z piece as my souvenir, plus it was a turquoise amazing necklace they made it for me, so I had to get it. But then I decided to spend more money on jewelry that I could sell. I mean, that was kind of a rookie mistake my first year, but it is easy to get into that Z boutique and lose your mind. So rein it in.
I agree, because that was kind of my same thinking, and so I've always bought a Z piece as my souvenir, and I've done that from the beginning, because from the very first the first time they introduced that, I realized that it wasn't something we sell that made money. And I guess that's how my thinking works, is that, well, if I can sell it, that's what my focus is going to be on. But the cool thing about it is that they've opened up the Z collection to everybody. So you guys are going to be able to sell the Z collection at $25 a necklace, which is amazing, because those pieces, a lot of our $5 pieces, are being sold in department stores for about $15, $20. Our Z collection is seriously even more so than what is available in department stores as far as quality. And so $25 is an amazing deal. You do get 10 PV for those necklaces that do sell. And they have, so the ones, where they've had the contest to who gets to get a necklace named after them. So those necklaces are called the Signature Collection. And then they introduced 10 more amazing Z collection pieces that are just part of the lineup for the year. And Rachel, I think, learned that they may bring one, they may introduce some new ones throughout the year, but that's more not likely. It may happen, but it's not the norm. So the people, when they found out we can sell the Z collection, went crazy, and they jumped in that line to go buy more. But for me, I'd much rather push it as an online thing, that they can go log into your website and go purchase it that way, which I hope is how it's going to be done. Since it's all new, we don't know. I'm hoping it's going to be done that way because then hopefully they'll purchase more as they're there. Then they'll see how amazing the $5 pieces are, because Missy was adamant that we're still founded on $5 pizzas, so the $25 Z collection is not to replace what the company is founded on. But I like to think they'll buy that and other things will catch their eye, and then hopefully you'll get them hooked on both. So we'll see how that happens. And that gets introduced in October 2nd. So it's not quite out yet for everybody. So that's exciting. So Tiffany, did you have a question or no?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yes. Sorry, Kristi, I'm coming in late.
That's okay.
So I saw that the Z collection is coming out in October, which I'm actually excited for.
Yes.
So how much of the commission do we make off of those?
So each piece is Rachel, she said 35%, right? It was a little less than the $5 price point, which is 45%. It was 35%, I believe. So if we buy them on our own, it's $16.25 for that piece, and then we sell it for $25. And so the markup, I believe, is 35%.
Kristi,
Yes.
just to clarify what you were just talking about really quick. So our customers will be able to go on our sites and purchase Z Collection. They do not have to do it straight through us, correct?
That was my understanding. So we're going to have to see how this rolls out and see what it truly looks like, because they didn't show us what it would look like on our end or on the customer's end. So that's what I was assuming, because then that would require us to keep a lot on hand. And that would be really hard because it's a lot more expensive than the normal pizza. So that's my understanding. And
I have one more quick question.
It's good for the entire year up until the next convention. Those pieces.
And I have one more question for you. Can you clarify the new shipping thing, like the 3-day ordeal, like the details?
Yeah, I hope. Hey, Rachel, is she there?
I don't think
because
Kristi, I think she left the group.
Well, I see her name on there, but she's been having really bad connection problems. You know what? I'm gonna have to come back with you. Rachel and I are horrible ones to ask on that, because what they did on our badge, they had all of the whole schedule. And at the end of the last one, they said, and there's a 1:30 session, so come back. And it wasn't listed on our badges. And we went into the boutique early and then had a lunch that was provided afterwards. And we got talking. And we didn't realize we should have been in there at the beginning. And, like, we missed half the keynote speaker that we really wanted to hear. And so we're really bad examples. But it was, like, this really weird impromptu, like, it wasn't listed on our things, and so it kind of surprised everybody. And they had a pretty low turnout during that session, which was so sad, because that keynote speaker was amazing in there. So Rachel and I will have to ask around, because we did catch that it was like a 3-day thing, but I'm not sure if that's a 3-day turnaround from like start to finish, which means that they would only give themselves like a day to ship out if it was priority or FedEx, and I'm not sure. So I'll write that down. Like, we'll check into that just to see exactly what that meant, and then we'll let you know.
Okay. Thank you.
Because I could tell you right now, that's not true with my convention pieces that I had shipped. They still aren't here.
Oh, yeah.
They should have been here if it was 3 days, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's like at least 7 days now.
Yeah. So I need to ask it. We'll find out on that. For
Okay.
sure. And then, does anyone else have any other questions or comments?
Me, as always.
Yes, that's okay. I love
Chatty
it.
Cathy. I wish that some of my team members were on here. Bummer, but
So this is recorded, and I'm going to upload it into Team Freedom for 5 again.
good.
Awesome.
My advice is to go ahead and when they make that announcement. So the last year they just did a Facebook Live, and it was seriously like 30 seconds long or something when they announced when when next year's convention was. I would go ahead and order your ticket. Then you are committed and you're going to go. And worst case scenario, you don't get to go. You're only out $160 or so.
You can, I think, transfer them too now, I noticed. So you can pay like a small fee and transfer it to someone else. This year, convention sold out. And so this was the very first year that I've ever worn a lanyard, and they were checking those badges at the door to make sure that you were like legit for the conference. Because before it was just kind of like come and go. It wasn't a big deal. But because it was sold out, they were right on top of checking those at every single door we entered and monitoring all of that. And like Lindsay said, like commit to it now. Just say, you know what, I'm going. I'm going to make this happen. And for the tickets, there's pink tickets, and then there's the normal general session. And I could tell you those pink tickets, which can get you into the preview early, it can get you into the welcome party, I think. No, not the welcome party. It gets you into the shopping early and some other stuff. And I think
the welcome party.
Ashley was the only, it's not the welcome party. The party hoppers, if you go to Empower Me Pink, got into
That was welcome.
But Ashley did not. So Ashley on my team was the only one that had a and she got into she got us another gift, I think, for being part of that.
You get a gift, but you also get when I went the 2 years, you got 10% off a Z collection or 15% off a Z collection or something.
Yeah, they've changed a few things. So
Changed that.
perks. Basically, there's perks to getting it. But the tricky thing is that you have to literally hop on right when they release those tickets and try to get them, because they have been selling out literally in minutes for those pink tickets. So they're not very easy to get, but it's doable because my team member did it. And so that's just kind of something to think about too.
Hey, Kristi.
Yes.
When does the tickets go on sale?
That's what we couldn't remember. It's in the fall.
Okay.
I'll look that up too. I'll look back in and see when I bought my last ticket. Rachel and I were trying to think. It's like November, December. It's somewhere in the fall. So
Okay,
I'll post that too.
Okay.
Because it's usually about the same time. So I'm writing that down. Because we know it's in the fall. Okay, I'll look that up too. Got that on my list of things to look up.
I think we only get 35% commission off of that.
Did someone else have questions?
See.
I mean,
Okay,
whatever.
Jessica.
Me again. What is the price difference between like what is added on in order to get that pink ticket? Like, what am I looking at? 0 extra?
0 extra. It's just a matter of
You just have to get a water supply.
Yep.
Okay.
It's like they have a limited number of them, and so it just has extra perks. I know one of them is to get in line. Like my team member got into the preview, is what it's called, to do shopping early. And like I think, like Lindsay said, there's like little perks and maybe discounts on things here and there, but it's not an additional cost to that. It's just limited.
With that, the longer you wait to buy your ticket, it gradually gets more expensive. So
Yes.
I think last year it was like $169 or something, and then it went up to $189, and then it went to $209, and then that was it. So
I think it was from like when it started until March March or
January.
April or oh yeah, was it January?
I think it was January.
You know what? I'm gonna research
don't
that
know.
too. I'm gonna go
Just
look
buy it
that.
right away. Just do it right away. Commit, because convention, I mean, do as I say, not as I do, because I missed the last 2 years because I had a baby and family stuff, but 2 babies. Okay. But it's so much fun. Your business will soar afterwards. Plus, it's just nice to be around like-minded people, learning from the best. I mean, it really is like a big pep rally, but also you learn things that will improve your business if you do them. And they're easy things. You always leave a better business person, because you have to think like a business owner, not just I sell jewelry. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm done talking.
I
Sorry.
agree. And I think, I know for me, I left just as a better person in general, because those keynotes and those speakers were talking about things that I can easily apply in my life, or I looked at them and I'm like, oh yeah, that's something that I can improve on, that will improve my family life, but also my business life, to make sure that that work-life balance is like balanced, because that's really hard. And so those are some things that I learned. And like you said, you're just around like-minded people, and everybody that I've met, whether they're new or they're way up at the tippy top, are more than willing to talk to you. And that was what was amazing about a lot of the speakers, especially the keynotes. It was talking about rookies, is what one of them called them, are just as valuable as those people that have higher titles. And she basically said, just strip away the titles. Everybody has something to learn from everybody, no matter where you are on the line. And that's what is amazing to me. It's just a matter of rubbing shoulders with those people so that you can learn from them. And I'm hoping, Rachel and I are kind of hoping that in the weeks from now on the Zooms, we can share some of those things that we learned at convention, so that we can all start applying those to our businesses and start growing, because we all have the potential to do it. We all have the ability to do it. And her and I know that all of you can do it. And it's just stepping outside of your comfort level and being brave, and kind of letting fear go, I guess, which I think is part of my problem, is just fear is getting in the way of what might happen if I do something, when if I do it, it ends up not being a big deal. And I'm like, oh, wow, I grew, or my sales increased, or my confidence grew. And that's hard. That is so hard to do. And so, anyway.
Hey, Kristi.
Yes.
I have an oddball question while we're on the subject of growing your business and all that. So when I originally signed up back in January of this year, I had the most awesome upline, Meg.
Oh, Meg, yeah. And Lindsay has the same upline.
Okay, Lindsay, maybe you can help me. Who do I need to go to for help? Because I've asked Meg for help, and it's like, I know she has her other quilting business, but I feel like I'm being let down.
I think that we're all here to help you, girl. We are all here.
And I don't, I'm getting so discouraged because things aren't going right, and I don't know who to contact. And I'm like,
so Meg's upline is going to be Rachel.
Okay.
Is her, yep.
I will say I'm in the same boat as you. I love Meg, and I know that she's super busy, and I am happy for all the good things that are happening in her life. I have had to just problem solve by myself, or I ask Rachel, or I ask the team.
Okay.
I also watch YouTube videos of like people that I look up to, who have done lots of trainings. Lisa Abercrombie is somebody I look up to. Andrea Hutchinson, she has a lot of good ideas. Mandy Heinz is another really good one. Anyways, I watch the people who are successful and doing well, and I don't try to be them. I just try to take little pieces of maybe what they do and try to make it my own. But I also, like Kristi was just saying, I let my fears, or I let the fact that like Meg isn't super, because Meg, man, in the beginning we were talking every single day and it was awesome. But now I had to just kind of let go and try it on my own. I had to try new things, and I had to like learn from my mistakes and see what worked and what didn't work and tweak along the way. Anyway, so don't let the fact that your upline isn't active right now to discourage you, because I know anyone watching right now, I know anyone on the Freedom for 5 page would be willing to help or answer any of your questions. But also do some is it called professional development?
Yes.
Personal development,
Yep.
where you watch other people. Anyway,
because there are a lot of resources out there. There are a ton of resources out there, like you had mentioned. And I think some of that is, if it's not, whatever you're doing, Tiffany, is not working, then try something different. Because not everything's going to work. And so Rachel and I had the opportunity, as we're standing in long lines, to talk with some people around us. And this one consultant that is just killing it, she did all sorts of different things. She didn't stick with one method in her group, and she would maybe post pictures in albums, or she would post individual pictures, or most of her parties she actually ended up doing through the website, because then she could have 5 at a time. But then she also did lives, and she did it consistently. She usually doesn't go to sleep until about 2 o'clock at night, because she's working her business when her kids are in bed. You know, depending on what your goals are, there could be some huge sacrifices in that. And if it's not working, you try something different. There's lots of different things you can do out there. And I think some of it too is attitude, in just not letting things really get you down, and to just continue trying. And of course you're going to have ups and downs, which I should do a Zoom on that, where it's like the direct sales, like ups and downs. There's like a chart of that.
Yes.
It's just up and down and up and down. And that's just how it goes. It just ebbs and flows. And you just have to roll with it. So I'm just warning everyone, there's like 1minute, 26 seconds. And once it gets down to the minute mark, like, we can't see it. So usually it disappears by the time that minute mark hits. And then we can't say bye. So.
Okay, totally agree.
So we'll continue to build on, I think, these questions and these concerns that you guys have. And I've taken notes of some of the things that I need to look up for you. But I think we'll end it before it just cuts me off. Because I just want to let you know, we want to see all of you at convention next year, and we'll just continue to remind you and hopefully encourage you and inspire you to make that commitment. So keep November or December. I'll look up the date when I bought my ticket last year to plan on going and to make that commitment now.
Oh, yes, I want to go. I saw as much fun as you guys did.
Yes. So, all right. I'm going to sign off. If you continue to have questions, just comment below when I post this video. So good night, guys.
Okay. Night.